For our second podcast of the series, you're in Mohali, and I understand you've been spotting some England players in their hotel as well.
Well, yes, John, I'm here in Chandigarh. I had gone to pick up my access card for the match. Only the second match. I'm second and the only match I'm seeing in this particular series. So I saw the one at Kotla. And yes, had gone to pick up my access card, and now going off to the hotel to just sleep off tiresome journey and look forward to the match tomorrow. There's quite a buzz here. The first two ODIs did not have too much crowd. But there's quite a buzz here. Remember, the last time India played here, they beat Pakistan in the World Cup semi-final, so quite a buzz. And talking about this particular series, John, what are your views on this particular role reversal, England trailing 2-0 after a summer of success? Do you think a little bit of mental fatigue sinking in?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, if I look at sort of role reversal to start with, it has been a massive role reversal. England, they have played poorly. We can't get away from that. Their batting in the first game against Spin was very poor. They failed to build partnerships in that second game. But unusually for me, the fielding's been very poor. I can't really see that going on. We've seen some very poor boundary fielding, some very poor slip fielding. Yes, they are missing some key players, but I do predict an improvement coming up. They've got to build those partnerships. We saw a bit of a partnership between Samit Patel and Johnny Bairstow in the previous game. But they've got to build those partnerships, and they've got to hold those catches. England, they should be able to put it all together at some point in the series, maybe to pinch a couple of one or two games. But I know a lot of people are talking about the possibility of a 5-0 whitewash. I think it's still possible. Let's not forget that New Zealand were beaten by the same margin by India not so long ago. That was 5-0, and for me, they've got more ODI pedigree than England. So certainly it's been a remarkable start to the series, and India very much on top.
We'll really talk about the 5-0 a little bit later. Do you think it was a mistake not changing the lineup? I think they carry the same lineup from the first ODI, and there was always talk about Scott Borthwick coming in, or probably Ian Bell playing in place of Jonathan Trott. There's again a question mark over Trott, a little bit of question mark on Kevin Peterson as well. So do you think it was a mistake not changing the 11? And do you think, and whatever changes do you foresee for the next couple of games?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really personally see a problem with giving the same people a chance to put the wrongs of the first game right. Jonathan Trott gets an awful lot of criticism, but he does score an awful lot of runs. I mean, changes, I think, probable will be for the third game. Bell's done little wrong. Scott Borthwick probably deserves a go, but it does show that there is plenty of competition for places in that middle order for England. It's quite interesting because the likes of Bairstow, Bopara, Patel, Borthwick, they all offer different options. Bairstow obviously is a wicket keeper. Bopara can bowl his medium pace. Samit Patel can bowl his left arm spin, although he's been one of the culprits for me in the fielding side. So if I was being very ruthless, it would probably be him I might be thinking about leaving out. There is the option here that you could have Jonathan Bairstow playing as the wicket keeper and dropping Craig Kieswetter, which would be maybe a bit unfair on the Somerset man, but that would allow maybe Bell and Borthwick to come in. But as two spinners, absolutely essential. But massive decisions for England. But without Owen Morgan, without some other experienced players there, I can't really see them dropping Trott and Peterson, for example. So
right, and talking about the possibility of 5-0, yes, it's a bit of a possibility, but 3 ODIs to go, I think, a bit early.
Oh, certainly, yes, absolutely. But it's a talk of sort of 5-0 sells newspapers and gets people reading things, doesn't it? So we must be a bit more guarded. And I wanted to talk about what a turnaround it's been for India as well, Chetan. They're playing like the world champions that they are. Is it a case of them being much more comfortable in their home conditions, or do you think, or in addition perhaps, do you think we're starting to see the influence of Duncan Fletcher as coach?
Well, I think let's give due credit here. I mean, they are playing at home. India at home have always been an unbeatable side, and the World Cup really proved that. And what we saw in England was perhaps a jaded, a fatigued side. Towards the end in the ODIs, they were starting to come together. Rain robbed them on a couple of occasions there, especially the first ODI. You just cannot get over it, the way they went down there. So I thought they fared better in the ODIs, gave a good account of themselves. They were a young side, remember. They were still missing Sachin Tendulkar. Gautam Gambhir is back. He was missing in the ODIs in England. Sehwag is gone. Yuvraj is missing. Zaheer Khan is missing. So quite a few players were missing in England. Only Gautam Gambhir has gotten back into the fold since then. So, yes, I think they were doing well in the ODIs towards the end of that particular tour, and I think they just have built it on here. Of course, it's been compounded by the fact that they're playing at home, conditions alien to England, spinners in tandem, and of course, people like players like Suresh Raina, Virat Kohli, they don't need to worry about the short ball. They just can hit across the line, and they can play with renewed vigor and confidence. So, yes, the conditions having a bit of an effect on India. That happens when you're playing at home. I suppose England playing at home against any side in the world, that will have the same effect. Or, for example, India go to Australia. Australia will play with the same confidence, yes. So it will be unfair to say that India are winning only because they're playing at home. I think let's be a little guarded because it's a young side, can do well abroad. And as far as Duncan Fletcher doing well for India, I think just the second series really. And against the same opposition, yes, he's been with England for a long time. Yes, he knows the players inside out. But that was the story on the England tour as well. He knew the conditions there as well. So, you win one series and you lost those series before this. So, I'm not really sure if we can really say if it's the Duncan Fletcher effect yet. But this is something that we would like to say very early, probably over the course of the next series or probably after the Australia tour. We would like to see that early. Otherwise, things could just get a little bit uncomfortable also.
You mentioned Virat Kohli there, Chetan. I want to talk about him in particular because some of the shots he played during that match-winning centre in Delhi were absolutely outstanding. He's just 22 years of age. He's already scored 7 ODI centuries. Already seems pretty experienced. There has been some talk in the media, I think it was John T. Rose this week, trying to compare him to Tendulkar at that age. It's a bit of a moot point really, but I want to focus on him because in the last 6 or 7 months he really does seem to have come of age, and if England need to get back in the series, for me it seems they need to find a way of stopping him scoring runs.
Well, I think yes, if we can say John T. Rhodes saying that he'll overtake Tendulkar someday, I think that's just almost similar to saying that England will lose 5-0 at this juncture in the series. So a bit of an early approach, a bit of an early talk. A ploy to sell newspapers again, yes. But yes, talking seriously about this particular player, he's really blossomed in the last 6 months, really put his hand up. There is a spot vacant in the test order. Yuvraj Singh has not really made it his spot. Suresh Raina is still struggling with the short ball. So you have one or two more seasons of the seniors still in the side. So there is a wicket number 6. So Virat Kohli could just step up in there. And yes, he's been growing many folds ever since he's come onto the international scene. Missed out the first season, there was not really a spot. But ever since, whenever he's been given a chance, he's made it count. I think it's really a praiseworthy approach from him because he was given a chance ahead of the World Cup. He took the chance with both hands. Then he was given a chance during the World Cup. The opening match, he scored 100 in company with Virendra Sehwag. So he took that opportunity with both hands as well. And then it's been non-stop since. I think England will want to stop him. The law of averages says that he's also due for a bit of a fall in this particular series. But again, the Indians wouldn't mind another 50 or 100 runs from him because I think all the Indian players are a little due from their experience in England. But having said that, Virat Kohli has really come of age, really come far, and he can only grow from here. There have been talks about him being the next Indian captain. I think it's a little too early for that as well. But at 22, he seems a lot more mature player than he was probably a couple of seasons ago, and it just shows in the way he carries himself on the field. Probably gets a little hot at times, but then who doesn't? He's young and he's cheerful at the moment, so he's enjoying his cricket.
And there aren't too many selection problems at the moment for India. We've talked about England's problems. Unchanged in both matches so far, and they've named an unchanged squad for the final 3 matches. Interesting to note that Robin Uthappa and Yusuf Pathan are in for the 2020. You must be encouraged by the way that Umesh Yadav and Vinay Kumar have performed in the absence of Zair Khan, and it's probably fair to say that Harbhajan Singh's hardly being missed at all.
Well, yes. Harbhajan Singh has performed well in the Challenger series. In between Champions League T20 and this particular series. But yes, in the first 2 games he hasn't been missed at all. I think we've got 2 spinners who did really well in the first game, 2 pace bowlers who did well on a slow Delhi wicket. So not really a surprise that no one's talking about Harbhajan. At the same time, you'd just like to mention that although it is a bit encouraging that Vinay Kumar has stepped up finally, and then Umesh Yadav is troubling batsmen with his pace. But I think both of them need to find a bit of consistency. I think Vinay Kumar needs to be consistent with his bowling performances. I think he has a good line length, but he doesn't deliver consistently. And perhaps Umesh Yadav needs to be consistent with his line and length. He has a consistent pace, which has not been seen for some time now. I think Srishant is the fastest bowler, then maybe Ishant Sharma, but no one touches 90 regularly. This guy did touch 90 in the last game. He was 88, 89 regularly. And, he's bowling along with Praveen Kumar and R. Vinay Kumar, who are not really the fastest bowlers. So yes, if he can just get his line and length a little bit more consistent, add that extra incentive to his game, I think he'll be a very good bowler for India in the coming years. Obviously, you want to protect him from the exposure from too much T20 cricket, too much limited overs cricket. So maybe the selectors would want to take give him enough opportunities in ODI cricket first, and then just try and save him off for Test cricket. I think that's something that they would want to look at.
And shall we finish off with a prediction, Chetan? Which way are you going for the game, for the third one-day international?
Well, I'll go for a 3-0 for India. I think Mohali is a pitch which will suit them again. Both their spinners and the pace bowlers. England are just a little bit down at the moment, and India on the upswing. So 3-0 for me, yes.
Yeah, same for me. Much as I'd love to sit here and say England will go and turn it round and win, I can't see them doing it. India look too strong at the moment, so both of us going for India to seal the series at the earliest opportunity.